All right. So guess we can start now. The questions which came in the JEE mains from the topics alkene. We'll start with question 1, which came in April 12, 2023. Now this is about 2-hexene on ozonolysis, and you have to find the product. So you have a bunch of very simple questions in the real exam as well. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. People online will want to respond and give me the answer to this. What is the answer to this? 2-hexene
Ethanol and butanol.
Ethanol and butanol.
Will it be ethanol, butanol, or ethanoic acid, butanoic acid? You don't have zinc? You don't have zinc? So instead of aldehydes, you'll get acids. Arey hana bolo. I mean, this is very cliche by now. I can do it pretty much without drawing the structure. Hex 2 in, you'll want to cut it like this: 2 carbon fragment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 carbon fragment, 4 carbon fragment. Ethanoic acid, butanoic acid. Question 2. Question 1 came in April 12, 2023. Question 2. Molar mass of hydrocarbon which on ozonolysis consumes 1 mole of O3 and gives 1 mole each of ethanol and propanol. Now, it gives you 1 mole each of ethanol and propanol. Ethanol and propanol. Ethanol and propanol. Come on, tell me, what is the answer to this?
70.
Yes, Abhishek is giving me the right answer. What is the molar mass of the hydrocarbon which gives you 1 mole ethanol and propanol? So propanol plus ethanol is like you want to add these two together, acetone and CH3CHO. Give me a minute. So now more people are coming up with the answer. More people are coming up with the answer. Most of you are giving me an answer 7070. Is 70 the right answer? So obviously, when you put these two together, I'm drawing the structure, but eventually I'm not going to be a 5-carbon alkene. It's going to be a 5-carbon alkene with the molecular formula C5H10 with the molecular formula C5H10 and 12 into 5, 60 plus 10. Naturally, molar mass will be equal to 7070 is the right answer. 7070 is the right answer. This also came in the April version of the last year exam, April 8, 2023. Question 3 is, how do you convert a trans-alkene to a cis-alkene? How do you convert a trans-alkene to a cis-alkene? Yes, I told you about this. How do you convert a trans-alkene to a cis-alkene? एक जगह मिथाइल दिया, एक जगह इथाइल दिया. रियल क्वेश्चन में मिथाइल ही है, आई बिलीव. I hope people online can hear me. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो. Question 3. Question 3. Who will tell me? This is PCH double bond CH say CS3. This is trans to begin with. This is trans to begin with. This is trans to begin with. You have to convert it to a cis form. Come on, tell me these steps. There were 4 options, but I don't think you need options here. Please go ahead. First we'll do bromination. 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 अब ट्रांस में एंटी एडिशन होता है, ट्रांस में एंटी एडिशन होता है, ट्रांस में एंटी एडिशन होता है, तो नेचुरली दोनों बीआर बीआर जो होगा वो मेसो होगा. यस और नो? ये एग्जैक्टली मेसो नहीं होगा, ये एग्जैक्टली मेसो नहीं होगा बिकॉज देयर इज नो सिमेट्री इन द कंपाउंड, बट इट विल लुक लाइक मेसो. So let's not be very finicky about the nature of the compound because in any case it won't be a meso compound altogether. But डाइहैलाइड से अल्कोहलिक KOH यहाँ पर NH2 डालना जरूरी है. मोनोहैलाइड से अल्कोहल में काम हो जाता है, डाइहैलाइड में NH2 लगता है. You get PH C triple bond C CH3. Yes or no? And pH
H2 or and Lindlar's catalyst.
You'll want to use Lindlar's catalyst. Yes, you'll want to use Lindlar's catalyst. And Lindlar's catalyst will convert an alkyne to a cis alkene. It will convert an alkyne to a cis alkene. This cis alkene on bromination, this cis alkene on bromination could have given you again a dihalide, plus its enantiomer. You understand this? And this again with alcoholic KOH and an NH2 would give you something like PHC triple bond CCH3. And this with lithium or sodium and liquid ammonia, would give you a trans alkene. Yes or no? So the right option of converting a trans to a cis would be an option like bromination followed by OH minus NaNH2 followed by a Lindlar catalyst. Yes or no? Obviously, I have not written all the options because I wanted it to look like a theoretical question, a subjective question. But I think everybody is understanding me. People online will want to respond. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll want to talk about question 4 now. Hope I can rub it off.
Yes, sir.
So you people need some time to attempt question 4? People online, do you need some time to attempt the question 4?
Attempted.
कहाँ तक हो गया ऋतिका?
15.
अभिषेक कहाँ तक हो गया?
पूरा हो चुका है.
ओ हाँ, तू तो मेरे को कल ही इसका सोल्यूशन भेज दिया था. 4, 5, 6, 7 question 4 to question 7 ये मिटा दो. I'll give you a little time to attempt these questions. I can rub it off. ये एक बार 4 करा देता हूँ. 5 से थोड़ा टाइम दूंगा. क्वेश्चन 4 में there is a compound which uses 2 moles of hydrogen in catalytic hydrogenation. So there is a molecule which is C6H8. Come on, tell me the degree of unsaturation. दो मोल हाइड्रोजन ले रहा है, C6H18 है, Du2 है और दोनों ही पाई बॉन्ड है. Yes or no? On ozonolysis, it gives you 2 moles of methane dicarbaldehyde. On ozonolysis, it's giving you 2 moles of methane dicarbaldehyde. This is giving you C6H12 only. I'm sorry. यहाँ पर एक डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 1 बच जाता है. यहाँ पर डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 3 है. 3 था डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन, 3 था डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन और 2 मोल ही हाइड्रोजन लिया. व्हाट डज इट प्रूव? सॉरी, I'll give you a situation like C6H12 on hydrogenation is becoming C6H14. This would mean कि C6H12 has a pi bond. Yes or no? Yes or no? C6H12 becoming C6H14 would mean C6H12 has a pi bond. And then I tell you about a C6H12 which will not react with hydrogen. डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन तो दोनों में है, वो रिंग है. दिस मीन्स देयर इज a ring. I'll tell you about a C6H10 which reacts with 2 moles of hydrogen to form C6H14. And this would prove that C6H10 has 2 pi bonds. And if there is a C6H10 which reacts with 1 mole of hydrogen and stops at C6H12, दोनों में डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 2 है. I hope people online are understanding me. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
C6H12 अगर C6H14 बन जाता है मतलब जो डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 1 है वो एक पाई बॉन्ड का है. अगर ये हाइड्रोजन नहीं ले रहा है मतलब ये ग्रीन है. इट कुड बी वेरी वेल ये साइक्लोहेक्सेन. मतलब बहुत पॉसिबिलिटी है. बनाते बनाते थक जाओगे. बट एक रिंग होने से वो हाइड्रोजन नहीं लेगा. एक पाई बॉन्ड होने से वो हाइड्रोजन लेगा. यहाँ पर डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 2 है. दोनों अगर हाइड्रोजन ले लिया मतलब 2 पाई बॉन्ड है. और अगर एक ही हाइड्रोजन लिया मतलब
1 ring, 1 pi bond.
এখানে একটা রিং একটা পাই বন্ড. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? It could very well be a compound like this. और अगर C6H10 है जो हाइड्रोजन ले ही नहीं रहा है, इसका मतलब यहाँ पर दोनों रिंग है. It could very well be a cyclic compound. Yes or no? It could be a cyclic compound. ऐसा हो सकता है. बाइसाइकिल हो सकता है. स्पाइर हो सकता है. Yes or no? Now you go back to this problem. डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 3 है, 2 मोल हाइड्रोजन ले रहा है. इसका मतलब
1 ring, 2 pi bond.
which
1 ring,
means
2 pi bonds.
कुछ लोग सही बात बोल रहे हो, बाकी लोग क्यों बोल रहे हो मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. दिस इज एज सिंपल एज इट लुक्स. आई कैन टीच दिस टू क्लास 8 स्टूडेंट. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस पार्ट? इफ यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस पार्ट, व्हाई आर यू कॉन्फिडेंट हियर? डिग्री ऑफ अनसैचुरेशन 3 है and it's picking up 2 moles of hydrogen. What does it prove? I would want everyone to speak, including Devang. Oh, yes, sir. What, sir? And कितना रिंग है, कितना पाई बॉन्ड है? Am I speaking to you? And why aren't you coming up with exact numbers? You don't need to draw this structure. Was I drawing this structure while I was predicting this? I mean, from day one, you need to be very involved. If your involvement is missing, I would not be able to help. So, get back to this problem at hand. Take time if you need. But every time I throw a question at you and I'm looking at it, you got to respond. Everybody needs to understand this. People online, 2 जन जवाब दे रहे हैं, बाकी सब लोग चुपचाप हो. गोली मारो क्वेश्चन को. मैं जो पूछ रहा हूँ वो खाली बताओ. पहला बात तो C6H8 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम 3 समझ में आता है कि नहीं? 14 होना चाहिए, 14 की जगह 8 है, 6 हाइड्रोजन कम है, 3 पेयर कम है, डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम इज 3। ये 2 मोल हाइड्रोजन लिया, C6H12 बना। इससे क्या मालूम चलता है? और I mean, you can just tell me एक रिंग है. It's not necessary that you'll have to, give me the sign gesture. एक रिंग है, पाई कैसे बनाएगा? दो पाई बॉन्ड है, ठीक है? You can come over, come to my place, and you want to do some more steps, you're welcome. But all I need from everyone is, when I'm doing this extra stuff, in relevance to this problem at hand, you got to finally tell me, either you're not understanding or there should be absolute clarity. डिग्री ऑफ कंसंट्रेशन 3 में अगर 2 हाइड्रोजन ले लिया, इसका मतलब है कि 2 रिंग है और 1 पाई बॉन्ड है। 2 पाई बॉन्ड है और 1 रिंग है। Am I being understood? And what is methyl carbaldehyde? What is methyl dicarbaldehyde? What is methyl dicarbaldehyde? Propane 1,3-diol is so nice to hear. I'm so happy Yes could tell me the exact name. Methyl dicarbaldehyde. When I ask you what do you mean by methyl carbaldehyde, don't stay quite like an idiot. Only when you are responding to every question and you are being very involved, you are learning the subject properly. Sometimes you don't respond because you think it's too simple and you're casual about it. I mean, why on earth will you be casual about a problem which came in JEE Mains? That too in front of your teacher. मैं बोल रहा हूँ मिथाइल डाइकार्बोहाइड्रेट क्या है? Everybody should tell me right away.
सर साइक्लोहेक्स 1,4 डाइन आ रहा है।
ठीक है, अभी मैं आंसर नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ। मिथाइल डाइकार्बोहाइड्रेट ऐसा है, 3 कार्बन का, 6 कार्बन का था। ये पिक्चर दिमाग में आएगा, सबको ये पिक्चर दिमाग में आएगा। दिमाग बुद्धि सबको दिया है भगवान। इन्वॉल्वमेंट का जरूरत है, इंटेंट का जरूरत है। I'm sure you all are capable of doing it of your own. What it calls for is intent and involvement. It's been such a long time, I've been teaching the same stuff. Now I'm also coming up with new ideas, new terms, new phrases. I think it's helping you. या तो मत करो या करो तो पूरा इन्वॉल्वमेंट के साथ में करो. You were given this problem sheet yesterday. By now you should have attempted half of it. And if I need to wait for some people who are going to look at it for the first time, I feel guilty about those who have done it already. I give you a problem sheet. You could have attempted half of it at home. So I think finally you're happy with this product, having 1 ring and 2 pi bonds. Yes or no? Question 5 to question 8. Question 5 to question 10. 5 मिनट और टाइम नहीं दे सकता हूं, चलो 8 मिनट दे देता हूं. 8 minutes for question 5 to question 10. We'll want to resume now. Question 6. Question 5. Question 5. Who will tell me the right answer?
Three.
3.
So some people are saying 3, which I reckon is the right answer. Number of pi bonds cannot be 2.9, has to be 3. 17 milligram of a hydrocarbon having a molecular formula C10H16 and 17 milligram is 17 into 10 to the power minus 3 grams. Molecular weight C10H16 would mean molecular weight is 136, I reckon.
136.
And this would mean
1.25.
0.125.
1.25 into.
These many moles. Yes or no? And if it's requiring 8.40 ml of hydrogen at NGT, 8.40 upon 8.40 ml could be again written as 8.40 into 10 to the power minus 3 liters. And this upon 22.4 is 0.375, I reckon.
Yes, sir.
I hope I'm doing it all right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Which will mean that 1 mole is requiring 3 times of its number of moles of hydrogen. These many moles of hydrocarbon, these many moles of hydrocarbon requiring these many moles of hydrogen would mean 1 mole of hydrocarbon reacting with 3 moles of hydrogen, and this would mean that the degree of unsaturation or the number of pi bonds, actually the number of pi bonds to be 3 pi bonds. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Question 6.
Yes, sir.
Question 6 is something we have done in the past. This with HBr, this with HBr. Tell me how many of you are getting this answer? Is it going to give you something like this?
Yes, sir. This is the.
Naturally, there is a pi bond here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It will begin with formation of a carbocation, then a methyl ring expansion. So ring expansion,
And 1,2 methyl shift.
Methyl shift.
would give you a 5-membered ring such that the one bearing the methyl groups, so the next carbon will have a positive charge. There will be a 1,2 methyl shift. Which will give you a carbocation like this. And with Br minus, you will get bromine here. Bromine यहाँ लगाओ एक ही बात. Ritika, Asni, you're understanding me? Yes, bhai. Devans, you could do it of your own. You might take a little while because you know you are away for a while. But get back to work, huh? People online, are you all happy with this? Question 6.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Question 7. It's as simple as it looks. I mean, we have gone past this so many times. By now, it would be like such a simple question to attempt. With BH3 whole twice, which is diborane, THF, H2O2, you'll get an anti-MR alcohol. Yes or no? And with HgOAC whole twice,
MR alcohol without
BH4.
rearrangement.
Yes, you'll get a MR alcohol without alcohol rearrangement, Marconico alcohol without rearrangement. इतना ही पूछा क्वेश्चन में. I can stretch it one step further. Had it been H plus H2O, naturally it would have been something like this, involving a
Methyl shift.
We'll talk about question 8 now. 8 is very similar to question 5, I believe. 10 milligram with a molecular weight 80. Hello? चलो, okay. Okay, चलो, बहुत खुशी हो गया। चलो, देखिएगा। Question 8, a hydrocarbon of molar mass 8080, 10 milligram is as good as 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram upon 80 molecular weight. I reckon again 1 by 8 is like 0.125. So this is 0.125 into 10 to the power minus 3 moles. Yet again you have a familiar value 8.4 ml. Is as good as 8.40 into 10 to the power minus 3 liter upon 22.4. We did it and we had got 0.375 into 10 to the power minus 3 moles of hydrogen. This is these many moles of hydrocarbon. Now this will just into 3. So with 1 mole hydrocarbon reacting with 3 moles of hydrogen, yet again I can claim that there are 3 pi bonds. The answer to this is not 3, by the way. The answer to this is not 3. They want the total number of fragments produced from ozonolysis. So if there are 3 pi bonds, suppose there are 3 pi bonds,
4.
So
So
it will be
2
like 1,
dialdehydes and 2
2,
formaldehydes.
3, 4. I mean, I can work out to be the formula of this compound as well. And with 3 pi bonds, molecular weight 80, it's got to be C6H8. So C6H8, possible formula? Barshak 72, 880. Yes. And naturally, with 3 pi bonds, it could very well look like 1, 2, 3, and with 3 pi bonds you get 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be 4 fragments. The answer to this question is 4. People online will want to respond. I think you're understanding me. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry? I mean, if there is 1 pi bond, you will get 2 fragments. If there are 2 pi bonds, you will have ethanol, glycol, and formaldehyde. 3 fragments. So if there are 3 pi bonds, this is fragment 1, this is fragment 2, this is fragment 3, this is fragment 4. Yes or no? Paridhi, you're attending the class online yesterday, na? क्या बात, इसी हफ्ता भेज देगा. Amazing. So proud of you. Question 9 to 13. Do you need to attempt some time? Do you need some time to attempt the questions? Question 9 to 13. Question 9 to 13. How much time do you need? Sorry? So question 9 to question 13. Take another 8 minutes. So in question 9, you have an effervescence coming out. Now, effervescence could naturally be of a gas like carbon dioxide only. And carbon dioxide will come out only if it's a terminal alkene or a diene. See, a terminal alkene, because it's KMNO4, the product would be like oxidative ozonolysis. C4H8, C4H8 with KMNO4H plus is giving you an effervescence and a ketone. First of all, if I draw all possible C4H8, this is the only one. Which can give me a ketone. I mean, only this way I can get a ketone. So even if you don't feel comfortable with the effervescence part, the 3 C4H8 possible, the only one which can give you a ketone is this one. Yes or no?
2-methylpropene.
2-methylpropene.
And naturally, the product of oxidative cleavage would be this ketone. I told you ketones are difficult to oxidize. Aldehydes will get oxidized. And formic acid will get oxidized to carbon dioxide. Formic acid will get oxidized to carbon dioxide. With effervescence, carbon dioxide is a very simple relation to establish. So this is C4H8 which we wanted. And yes, Abhishek, you were right with the name. It's 2-methylpropene. 2-methylpropene. Question 10. A compound giving you ethane 1,2 dicarbaldehyde and glyoxal. Now, ethane 1,2 dicarbaldehyde. Could you draw ethane 1,2 dicarbaldehyde? Ethane
Yes, sir.
1,2 dicarbaldehyde. I told you can't complain with the way the question is framed, with the way a compound is named. Ideally, this would have named it butane 1,4 dial. But ethane 1,2 dicarbaldehyde, this is what I think of. Glyoxal is naturally easier to understand. Glyoxal means it's CHO. And if you join them end to end like this, it's going to come out of
Cyclohex 1,3 diene.
Cyclohex 1,3 diene is what somebody is suggesting me. And yes, this is the right answer. It's compound A. Compound B is giving me 5-oxohexanol or 5-ketohexanol. These are really exam questions, and I don't twerk the language of the question. So keep the language intact. It's ethane 1,2 dicarbaldehyde. And in the second one, if this is giving you 5-oxohexanol, this is deliberately the way I draw 5-oxohexanol because I want eventually
Methyl
a
pentane
cyclic
is
compound.
coming.
Cyclo compound.
1-methylcyclopent 1-ene.
1-methylcyclopent 1-ene.
1-methylcyclopent 1-ene. Along with Abhishek, who's giving me the answer?
Sir, Akriti.
Akriti, you're doing good. I think everybody is understanding me. I mean, somebody could very well start with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and eventually arrive at the same result. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो. A 5 carbon ring जहाँ पर एक pi bond के साथ में branching भी है. We'll talk about 11. Allow me to remove this clutter. We'll talk about 11. with HBr the major product, and you know the major product in conjugated diene is always the 1,4 addition product. Yes or no? My gut feeling is I could have started with this pi bond or this pi bond, but my gut feeling would be to start with this pi bond because it will generate a more stable CDP carbocation. And with H plus, you will get a carbocation like this, and naturally, the resonating structure would be giving you another carbocation like this, and this with Br minus would give you this as the product. This could very well be taken as the 1,2 addition product because hydrogen यहाँ पर लगा है, bromine यहाँ पर लगा है, could call it the 1,2 addition product. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And this with Br minus would give me this 1,4 addition product. Now I'll call it 1,4 addition because counting from this end, this is carbon 1 and this is carbon 4. So this would be the major product, Yes or no? Some people might want to start with this, and genuinely, this question has an element of confusion. But you know, if you have to take one side, you'll want to start with that side of the compound because naturally you'll want to have a more stable carbocation to begin with. Between 1,2 and 1,4, 1,4 addition is the major product. I will talk more about it when the time is right. This is thermodynamically controlled, that is kinetically controlled. I'll talk more about it. For the time being, we'll want to move on to question 12. We'll want to move on to question
2
12.
stereoisomers.
Sorry? ये जो क्वेश्चन है ना ये रियल एग्जाम में ऐसे आता था पहले 1 मोल HBr देता था अब वहां पर 1 मोल HBr देने की जगह इस प्रॉब्लम में इसको एक्सेस कर दिया है इट्स अ नाइस पॉइंट टू रेज यहाँ पर एक्सेस दिया है पहले मैं इसको 1 मोल करके कराया था क्लास में यहाँ पर एक्सेस दिया है एक्सेस का मतलब ही है कि दिस इज द लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट एक्सेस का मतलब ही है 1 मोल के साथ में रिएक्ट करा यू गेटिंग मी Question 12.
2 stereoisomers. Cis plus anti-addition gives racemic mixture.
Question 12. Simple as you can see, it's a cis alkene, bromination, and the product would be equal amount of
Racemic mixture.
equal amount of these two, a racemic mixture. The question being number of products, the number of products obviously would be 2. I did tell you about 13 in the past. I did tell you about 13 in the past.
Yes, sir. In the
Yes, sir.
class.
So this is also going to be, a boost morally that the real J means questions are pretty much within reach. K1O4 H plus heat, K1O4 H plus heat, and we'll want to break this bond. This compound A naturally would be like oxidative cleavage. What is this compound called? This is cold dilute. 273 Kelvin is 0 degrees Celsius cold dilute. What is this compound called? तुम लोग अचानक ना बिल्कुल नाम ही भूल जाते हैं. What is this acid called? Come on.
Sir, succinic acid.
You can call it hexane 1,6 dioic acid. Hexane 1,6 dioic acid, but I'm sure while you are naming it hexane 1,6 dioic acid, it's running in your mind that you are forgetting the common name of this molecule and I was asking for something else. Adipic. Ohm's gap bhul gaye. Somebody was saying succinic. 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon, and the 6 carbon plate will be adipic acid. Adipic acid. See, in due course, this would be more instinctive. Oxalic, malonic, succinic, glutaric, adipic. I think you're understanding me. (14 and 15), 14 and 15, and the rest of the questions we'll do later because I have another class lined up. 14 and 15, I'll want to remove this clutter. Can I rub it off? We'll do 2 more problems and then, I have another class lined up as I told you. (16) will be a case of allylic chlorination. Look for it. I can tell you next year. I will tell you next year that. But look for it. It's a case of allylic chlorination. Can I remove this clutter? We'll do 2 more problems and that will be it for the day. 14 and 15. Now in question 14, with HBr, did you come up with something like this as the major product?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's going to begin with addition of H plus and thereby formation of something like this. There could be a ring expansion, but 6 member to 7 member. 7 member is not as stable as 6 member. 6 member is the most stable ring. 6 member is the most stable ring. 6 member is the most stable ring. So instead of ring expansion, I would be willing to do what's called a methyl shift. Naturally, with one more methyl group here and positive here, we'll want to add Br minus, 2 degree becoming a more stable 3 degree. To get the major product, 15 is also an interesting problem. We'll want to copy the solution of 14 first. If there is any question, any doubt, you can ask me. Let's talk about 15 now. Again, something I would have told you in the past. It's a case of dehydration. Where 14 would look routine. 14 would look, the first one would look routine. See, 20% H3PO4 at a high temperature, 358 Kelvin. is as good as hello. আমি মেসেজ করবো 3:45 হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে। So this is like H plus delta. This is like H plus delta carbocation form, and we'll want this pi bond to be endocyclic. We'll want this pi bond to be endocyclic because this is more stable. Yes or no? And I would have told you about a case like this. You remember this is tertiary butoxide. This is tertiary butoxide, which I claim to be a bulky base.
Bulky base. That's why Hoffman product.
Bulky base. I was talking about bulky base in Hoffman's elimination. I have done Hoffman's elimination with you. So either the leaving group is bulky or the base is bulky, and it will not about which hydrogen will give you a more stable alkene. It's about which hydrogen is easier to remove. So this time I want this terminal hydrogen. You know, every time there is bulkiness, CH3 more than CH2 more than CH is the ease of loss of hydrogen, and eventually it will give me a Hoffman's product where the pi bond would be exocyclic. This happens to be compound A, this happens to be compound B. And question 16 will be a case of allylic chlorination. You'll want to inquire about this in textbook. Read more about 16.
The reagent will be chlorine and H mu.
Chlorine and H mu के जगह chlorine with very high temperature लेना. We'll talk about it. All right. So this much for the time being. Stay happy, stay healthy. मिलते हैं बच्चे लोग.
सर
Bye bye.
सर
Yes, please tell me.
सर आप बोले थे वीडियो भेजेंगे ग्रुप में 20 मिनट्स का देख लेने के लिए, नहीं भेजे
किसका?
सर? आप बोले थे ग्रुप में वीडियो भेजेंगे।
NTMR का नाम भेज देता हूँ.
हाँ yes, sir.
चलो stay happy, stay healthy. See you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.